Hi. So this is my second video today, and it's because I want to talk about something that happened yesterday. And it's actually a little bit serious. I did not feel too well. Um, I haven't spoken much about being an angel for a while. And that is because it's not central to some of the light work. It doesn't matter to you if I believe that I'm an angel or not. I believe that I'm a light being, and most people can, spiritual people can identify with that. I'm sorry. My lip is chipping. Okay. So what happened yesterday was that I very much felt like an angel, and I felt like I didn't want the job anymore. I felt like I was so sick and tired of humans. I was so sick and tired of ego, the repetitiveness of this human brain that just keeps going over and making the same mistakes over and over and over again, spreading negativity, biting on negativity, feeding ego, protecting ego. I wrote to an angel friend who's, I don't even know if they're gonna reply, because it's been a long time and they're not on the forum anymore because they got tired of it. I connected to a real sense of boredom. I was so bored with the human way. It's so predictable and uninspiring. So that's not good. We can agree on that. I called it the angel blues, but of course any human can feel it. Anyone can feel this. That's it's. Um, but what I found, and of course I'm human. I have these flaws. I'm just an angelic in spirit, and in my interpretation, we all are. There is an angel in everyone. It's just a matter of connecting to it, or realizing it, or remembering it, or allowing for it, or whatever. What I found interesting, though, is why did I get there? What happened? Because I had never felt anything but connection to the human experience before. And this separation I felt yesterday, which was actually just, I got here, I could just leave, sort of ish. It had nothing to do with suicidal thoughts at all. It was just like this existence that we create for a mission, for a purpose, that I could just undo it somehow. Anyway, so what happened before that was that, and this is what I think, it's my analysis of it, so that I can avoid it and I can change something about how I act. And I'm sharing it so that maybe someone can learn. If you've had this fatigue with the human experience, this might be for you. And just sharing. I mean, I would love to have a link of someone sharing back on the topic. So I had, for the past 2.5 months, I've been doing this clearing. I've been working on finding other levels of clearing my human habits from negativity and from negative emotions. So, and I had a day of full positivity. It was such a beautiful day the day before. And then I stumble into this day where I'm confronted with, like, really, in a phone call, pride, manipulation, someone who is obviously locked in ego and who is obviously wrong. So there's two challenges there. The one is how to meet in a loving way pride and not latch onto it. And the second is how to let go of the outcome. Because if I engage in this pride to correct the path that this person is on and trying to pull me on, actually pulling me on because I'm part of it, if I engage in it, I engage in negativity and in control. How to let go of the outcome. And this happened. There was a phone call, then there was a meeting, and then there was a communication, an online communication where the same thing happened. Someone is obviously wrong, in my opinion, and people are wrong sometimes. Not everyone can be right, and they are in pride, and it's non-communicative. So that's the big ego pride thing, and practicing on dealing with that. And the second thing was I've had friends that I care for that are not feeling too well, or that I believe are not feeling too well, or that I believe after having done my cleansing, my latest cleaning, that I believe could feel better. So here's my ego. It's that it's part ego, of course, but it's also that I want to share and I want to lift and I want to help and I want to heal and I want to improve for everyone. So in those cases, I overstepped. At least two instances that I remember. I think there is a third and a fourth that I'm just not remembering right now, where I clearly overstepped. And I clearly put my agenda onto people that didn't ask for it. And what does that have to do with angelic and the human fatigue thing? I think it was that yes, I think my new sense of my new clearance, my new level, that I was not aware that another layer of filter had been removed. Because what happened was I read or talked to people, and then some time after that, I experienced the exact same thing, but in my life. Like I experienced it and I became it. I empathized and it became my life. I empathized and I created it. So that was the really, really interesting. I'm not going to use the word scary because it's not scary. I'm not fearful of it, but it's daunting. That if I have now a heightened, an even more heightened sense of empathy, it is to that extent that I actually recreate it. So how can I help friends? How can I balance my empathy? What kind of tools do I need to engage with friends? And none of us are perfect. So we will all have negativity and flaws because we are in human bodies. So that kind of conundrum is the word, I think. That kind of made me like, I'm so tired of this. It's all flaws. It's all errors. And wherever I look, whomever I speak to, I get their mess. Sorry. And I am so heartfeltingly loving to you all. So please do not take it personally. Um, it was just a new thing for me. So then what happened was I saw this light message. There was a message, was a channel message for light workers about light language, and that it was just there, popping out for me. So I'm like, this is a message for me. I went in and I looked at it, and it was this wonderful woman. I will send a link here, speaking about light language that I had heard nothing about before. The main point that I got from her was that March is a month for, and correct might be the wrong word, but I think it was clear compassion. If it wasn't clear, it was something that has the same value of unattachment and like not, it's unmessy. Clear compassion, practicing clear compassion, and in the short version, it is to have a leading heart instead of a bleeding heart. And what had obviously happened to me was that I had a bleeding heart. Some of mine, well, actually, the process was reversed. I received some of their heart into my life, but my empathy was, I was following rather than leading in my empathy. I really liked leading empathy, a leading heart. And the funny thing is that she, in this video, the woman, who I cannot remember the name of right now, sorry, spoke of what had been in February, which had been, because of the eclipses, had been a time of cleansing and clearing and self-development. That's how I understood it. Maybe I didn't understand it right. But that's how I understood, which makes perfect sense because that is exactly what I've been doing. So I found it really interesting, and I found a new inspiring person who I will actually follow. And for a little tiny bonus, oh, I might be going over time here. Little tiny bonus, light language is actually language spoken from the heart, which has no obvious meaning in our intellectual sense. So it's a language that is understood by the heart, not by the brain. And I connected that, of course, to my own experiences of accessing a language which I could faintly understand if I just listened, but not if I was thinking. And I could not speak it if I was thinking, but I could speak it if I was feeling. So that was interesting. So I will be looking into that. I was inspired. Okay, bye.